Hey there folks, this is the game that I made for the Corona Blitz. First of all, what you're seeing in this video is the overtime version. I didn't quite get finished in the 4 hours, but I really wanted to see something playable, so I went ahead and worked, let me check here, an additional hour and a half. So I worked a total of 5.5 hours on this game. My game is the idea is that it's a critique on the virtues of game development. That is, virtue in game development, question mark, saying, is there virtue in game development? And if so, what kind of virtue? Um, so what I did here was, it's sort of like a clicker simulation game. You start off, and let me just go ahead and reboot this here, restart it. Come in, and there's no resume game at this point, and there are unfortunately no stats. I may work on this a little bit more so you can accumulate stats and compare your different game runs to see what you get. But click new game, and then you'll come in here and select your character type. So Joe Indy, the Clod, Mimp Daddy, and you can go ahead and play these and try them out. Looks like this description is a little bit long. Then go ahead and choose a cost of living monthly for your character, and I assume that everybody has a minimum cost of living of $500. Mine's somewhere around 4 grand, so I'm going to put that there. Let's see, monthly income. Boy, yeah, my current limit, no. Anyways, you can choose a monthly income for yourself. So what that's really saying is let's say you're a game developer and you're doing the Joe Indy style character, and your cost of living is $2,000 a month, but you've got a part-time job and you make $1,000 a month. So go ahead and select 1,000, 2,000 for cost of living. And then I'm going to give everybody in the game a $10,000 budget to start. But if you want to give yourself more to play around with this, then you can, up to $50,000. So let's go with 10,000. I'm going to make our cost of living 500 for this first run and 0 monthly income. And we'll go with Joe Indy. So we click start. And basically what this is, it's simulating being a game developer. So as we start, we've got 0 games. Our current bank is $10,000. Lifetime hours spent working on games is 0. Lifetime earnings, $0. We're in week 1 of our first game. Let's see. And for whatever reason, I already saw a bug there. That should have said made a new game. So our current first game is Sharp Cry. And the game will just make up random names here. The current game in process. We've worked 0 hours. Our current budget this week is up to 80 hours. If you get a part-time job or full-time job, you can only work up to 40 hours per week in your game. I'll talk about the modifiers in a second, but this part right down here, research, coding, art, and marketing, varies from character type to character type. But Joe Indy can do all of this. So you can click on these to accumulate hours in that category. Researching will affect your chance of success for the game. And marketing will also affect the chance of success, that is, likelihood of making any money on the game. Coding and art are just things you've got to do. They're randomly generated. So what happens here is it generates a random game idea, not a game idea, but a game name. And then it selects, based on the current player category, the size of that game. So where I made size just 1 to 5 in the code, and then it multiplies that by some random number of hours. So if you had a size 5 game, it's possible that the coding and art for this game might be hundreds of hours. But it looks like we got a small category game here, and we came out with just 31 hours of coding and 44 hours of art. Now, anybody who's done game development, they know that unfortunately nobody knows in advance how much time it's going to take. We can all sort of guess. We can do rough plans, but I don't know if you guys are like me, but typically it's like twice as much as I guess it's going to take. So anyways, this game's going to take us 31 hours to code and 44 hours to code, assuming nothing goes wrong. So the way you do this is you click on your categories and you spend your hours up until your total budget for that week. You can click for 1 hour. You can click and hold, and then after 1 second, it will automatically add 1 hour to that task every I think it's 5 times a second. Or you can hold down Shift and then hold on this, and then it'll really jam away and spend hours quickly. When these guys turn red, you're out of hours for the week, and you can verify that up here. So we'll go ahead and click next. Okay, so no modifiers again. We'll see something pop up there, and then I'll explain what that is. So let's go ahead and spend some time coding and spend a little time on art. And you'll notice that this turned red. As soon as you start coding, doing art, or marketing, you can no longer do research. It's assumed in the way my game works here is that once you've done any of those things, you're finished with the research phase of your project. And it says that down here. Let's go ahead and spend some time on marketing. Spending 1 hour of marketing is also equal to spending $5, and that comes right out of our bank. Let's go ahead and just click. We've only worked 30 hours out of our 80 this week. So let's just click next and see what happens. No modifiers. I'm just going to click next a couple times till we get a modifier. There we go. Uh-oh. Modifiers, red ones. So it seems like on week 6, we went on a Netflix binge and we had to catch up with our Netflix queue, and that cost us a 12.5% penalty against the number of hours that we are able to work. So we spent basically 10 of our hours watching movies on Netflix. So that's just totally gone. Now you can only spend 70 hours this week. In addition, we thought it was a good idea to add a major new feature, and that increased the duration of this game by 10% of the original cost. So now we have 23 hours remaining. Oh boy, well, that's a real bummer. Why don't we just try to get this project done? And we'll just whip through this number of hours here. So there, we're done now. We got 9 hours left, so I'm just going to spend that on marketing. Okay, good. You didn't have to do that, but once you're done with coding and art, if we click next, it will publish our game. That'll go in our list of published titles. So Shark Cry is published. So far it's earned $0. And our new game is Bulky Cutlet. Whew, that sounds exciting. So let's go ahead and work on that for a bit. Oh, I should have done some research. Oh well, no problem. I'm feeling kind of lazy this week, so I'm only going to work 40 hours. And next. Oh, I caught a cold, so my efficiency is going to be down by 10%, which means I can only spend 72 hours. Oh, I caught a cold, but look at my game. It made $6,300. Okay, admittedly, right now, at this point, having only spent 5.5 hours on this game, the one major issue with this game is the balancing is totally messed up. So I haven't done a proper algorithm. I mean, what is a proper algorithm? Nobody really knows how much money their game is going to make. But I tried nonetheless to put together sort of a balanced algorithm, because what I really wanted to do was, let's quit. What I really wanted to do was compare what it's like to do these different styles of game development. Again, this is my personal critique of game development and sort of how I feel about it. For example, the Clod, the cloner, he who rampantly clones other people's games. If we play him, let's just go with the base settings. You can see that basically all that person has to do is code and art. Everything else is pretty much done. They're just copying a game, so we would assume no research, no marketing. Oh, but of course, they can be lazy like anybody else and go on a YouTube binge, and they sure enough did. Let's see. So they start with a $10,000 bank, and there's a bug here that should have gotten cleared up, but we'll just ignore it. Let's go ahead and click. Let's do some coding. Let's get a game out there as soon as we can, because I will give you this. The cloners do work hard to quickly clone games. So almost immediately they show up in the market. There's the irritable mechanic clone. It's in the market. Let's go ahead and do another game real quickie. Boom, 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 boom. Let's put some hours in the art. All right, so we still got some work left to do here, so let's just go ahead and do it. Look at that. We made $156 for copying somebody's game. Rock and roll. And let's see. Ooh, $15,796. We're cranking. And that's about it. So you can play with the other styles of game. I'm going to release this for Android and Windows, and I'll release it for OS X later. Basically, the way the game works, you can quit anytime, or you will be forced to quit if you run out of money. So if your bank runs down to Zero. In fact, why don't we do that? I'll just start a new game. We'll be an indie. We'll make our cost of living super high. No monthly income. Minimum budget of 10,000. And we. Oh, I'm being told to stop working. My timer just went off, but I'm going to ignore it. So let's just do that. Let's do that. And let's just go. And oh, I'm at death's door. I can't get any work done at all this week. And I had family trouble. Man, what a bad week. So let's click next. Down to $7,500 in my bank. Oh, nothing bad happened to me, but nothing good happened to me this week. Actually, I'll give you a little hint. There's no good modifiers. I didn't have time to put any happy modifiers. So everything that happens to you in here is pretty much bad, except for when you publish a title or when you start a new game. So let's work a few hours. I'm super lazy. I work 9 hours. Major feature, Netflix binge, minor feature. Man, I'm killing myself here. What the heck's wrong with me? I'm watching Netflix and I'm coming up with new ideas. All right, let's just pretend I did no work. Let's do no work. Oh, my internet's down and I was distracted by a new idea. Man. Oh, no modifiers, but I've only got $2,500 left. And before I release it, I'll go ahead and fix this bug. I don't have any published titles, but it's clearly not resetting the titles list. I'm down to $1,250. I better get to work. That's pretty much how I am. I think you guys are probably like that too. A little pressure there. $1,250. Oh, I'm down to $0. And this should be, yep, I'm out of business. Sorry, you are out of money. Ba-ding. All right, so that's it. Again, 5.5 hours. I guess I theoretically broke the rules, but I just wanted to get something playable out there because I'll show the video of what I had at 4 hours, and you'll see it's pretty close to this, but not playable. So what's the point? All right, I hope you guys enjoy it. Give me feedback and or don't, whatever the case, and I'll talk to you guys later. Adios.